welcome to this episode of What's Happening in Waupaca. My name is Joni. Today we are talking with Becky Lang. And in talking to her right before this segment, the most, I think, fitting position to say is this is Becky Lang, a mom. Because really what you're doing with the new charter school in the Waupaca area is you are being concerned about children's education.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So you told me that you were one of the 5 core members that put the school together, or that are founding it, and it's opening in the fall of 2018.
Correct.
So we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yep.
But I want to know why. Why did you decide, or what made you discover that this particular school is so important?
Sure. It's actually the whole idea of doing a charter school in the school district of Waupaca came out of the district's community conversation element, which they had, I believe, last year. And basically, coming direct from the community, they wanted a little more where students had choice and input as far as what the content of what they were learning was, some of their interest areas and things like that. And also just more of the community collaboration throughout the whole community of Waupaca and beyond, and not just within the district. So that's where, I guess, the ball started rolling, and then just kind of picked up people who were interested, like myself, as that got started.
So how is this going to influence your children's education?
Well, I'm going to actually have to wait and see if this is going to be the right fit for my own children, because since all children learn differently and in different environments, as my children grow up, right now I have a first grader, as she gets older to be able to go in the charter school, as well as my other 2 children, if it's something that I feel like they will do well in that situation, I will send them. If not, that's also, a possibility.
It's an option.
It is an option.
So
absolutely.
Define for me what a charter school is and how it's different from the public school system.
Sure. Well, there is a lot of misconception around charter schools. The charter schools in Wisconsin are public schools, so you don't charge a separate tuition. It is open for enrollment for any student within the district, and then also open enrollment from other districts. I guess this particular charter school will be project-based, which means it's a different method of teaching where children are working in collaboration with their teachers, or as we're going to be calling them, advisors, to kind of formulate questions and different things for them to investigate based on their own interests and passions, and then they can discover from there and learn through that process. So it gives a little more freedom for also meeting the children and students where they're at and their own abilities and levels, versus where they might just be lumped in with one class. If they don't get it, they might fall through the cracks, or if they're super advancing, they get held back as well. But in this environment, the idea is that it's going to be kind of a fluid movement. If a student is struggling in math, they will be with the group of students that are at that same ability level.
Sure.
Things like that. So it gives an extra option for students, but also just a little more flexibility for meeting students where they're at, and just
We all know that kids learn in different ways.
Absolutely.
Some are audio, some are visual, some are, I won't remember the word, but it's all about touching and doing. And public schools have a really hard time trying to get a curriculum together that actually allows all of the children's different learning methods to excel, correct? And you told me that you have an elementary education background. So when you were an educator, did you find that it was difficult to be able to help all of your students learn in each of their different ways and styles and speeds?
Yes, and definitely by no fault of the teachers or administrators themselves, just with the basic or various demands and things like that. In a traditional structured setting, it is hard to meet those needs of all those students in the way that some schools are set up.
Well, and when you have 30 children in a classroom, it's pretty difficult to be able to give the individualized attention. Is that something that the charter school is going to be able to do by grouping kids into their learning styles and their learning speeds?
Yes, what it's going to be is a multi-age classroom setting. So it'll be, for the initial year, which will be in fall, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. Now, it will not be a class of just 3rd graders, 4th graders, 5th graders, 2nd graders. They'll be intermixed so that there can be collaboration and help from the olders to some of the youngers. And likewise, they can advance when they need to, when students need to. They can, if they need to maybe work on something a little bit longer, there's more of that flexibility. And also, the school will maintain an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is, will be helpful to at least have more of that contact and direct help when needed.
Sure. If, as a parent, if I am interested in learning more about this, where do I go? Do you have a website set up?
Sure,
or?
yep. Right on the School District Waupaca website, there is now a drop-down link for charter school, which is Chain Exploration Center. So there's a little bit of information there, and more will be added in the next few weeks upcoming. There will also be an informational and enrollment meeting located at the Waupaca Learning Center on January 29th at 6:30 p.m. So definitely come on out and take a look at that, find a little more information there, and you can also start getting the enrollment process going right from that meeting.
And because this really is part of the Waupaca School District, I'm not going to be faced with higher charges or enrollment fees. My child would still be in the Waupaca School program.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so come on out on January 29th at 6:30. The charter school is going to be located where?
It will be at the current Chain of Lakes Elementary School campus, sharing the same building with that school.
And what age groups or grades will they be teaching?
Next year, it'll open up as grades 3 through 5, then with the intention of each subsequent year adding a grade below and a grade above until expanding from K through 8.
Terrific. Okay. So if you want more information, join them on January 29th or look on the Waupaca School District website. Becky, thank you so much for your information today. I wish you all the very best of luck with the school.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So thanks for joining us for this episode of What's Happening in Waupaca. I'm Joni, and I'll see you next time.